From all that drama in high school to the quieter reflections of our later years, one thing is absolutely certain. Our psychological development never, ever stops. So what does that journey actually look like? Well, let's explore the map that psychologists have kind of laid out for the human mind.
Does that sound familiar? I bet it does. This one sentence just perfectly captures the core conflict of our teen years, doesn't it? It's that constant angsty push and pull between wanting to carve out our own unique identity and that deep, powerful need to just fit in.
And honestly, there is no better pop culture example of this than the 80s classic The Breakfast Club. You remember it, right? You've got the jock, the princess, the nerd, the basket case, and the rebel. Every single one of them is wearing the uniform of their clique. But underneath it all, they're all grappling with the exact same question. Who am I really?
But this struggle, it isn't just movie drama. The brilliant psychoanalyst Erik Erikson actually identified it as a critical stage in our development. He gave it a name, the crisis of identity versus role confusion. And believe it or not, it's just the first of many predictable challenges we all have to navigate as we grow up.
See, Erikson didn't just stop with teenagers. He had this theory that our personalities develop in a predetermined order throughout our entire lives, creating a kind of psychological map for us to follow. He saw each stage, from infancy all the way to old age, as being defined by a central conflict that we need to resolve.
So, after we survive the identity crisis of our teen years, the journey continues through three major adult stages. Let's walk through each one, okay? We've got young adulthood, middle adulthood, and finally, late adulthood.
First up, in our 20s and 30s, the main challenge is this struggle between intimacy and isolation. This is the time when we're really focused on forming deep, committed relationships. If you succeed, it leads to feelings of safety and love. But failure can result in some pretty profound loneliness.
But here's something interesting. Today, a lot of psychologists argue that there's a new phase tucked in right here. They call it emerging adulthood. It's that period when you're no longer a teen, but you haven't really taken on all the adult responsibilities yet. It can feel like an in-between time, where you're still really connected to your family, which can sometimes delay that big push for intimacy.
And this isn't just a feeling people have, the data totally backs it up. A 2011 U.S. Census found that a staggering 65% of people under 24 were still living with their parents. Wow. It's a powerful reminder how economic factors can directly shape our psychological development, kind of extending that identity-forming stage well into our 20s.
Okay, so next, from our 40s to our 60s, we face the crisis of generativity versus stagnation. This is all about our need to contribute something lasting to the world, through our careers, our community, or our family. If we don't find this sense of purpose, we can feel stagnant, and that can lead to that classic and often pretty painful midlife crisis.
And finally, from age 65 onward, we enter the stage of integrity versus despair. This whole phase is about reflection. Do we look back and see a life well lived, a sense of wholeness and integrity? Or do we see a series of regrets and missed opportunities, which can lead to despair?
So that pretty much covers our social and emotional journey. But what's actually happening inside our brains through all of this? Let's switch gears and look at the fascinating ways our cognitive abilities change as we get older.
It's a common fear, right? That as the years go by, our thinking gets slower, our memory gets worse, and our wits just aren't as sharp as they used to be. But is that what the science actually says?
Well, the reality is actually much more interesting. It's a trade-off. See, our intelligence isn't just one single thing. We have fluid intelligence, which is our ability to solve new puzzles and think abstractly. That actually peaks when we're teenagers. But our crystallized intelligence, that huge library of facts and experiences we collect, it just keeps getting stronger our entire lives. It's probably why your grandparents are so good at crossword puzzles.
Of course, while our intelligence makes that brilliant little trade-off, some people do face more serious cognitive challenges in later life. So it's really crucial to separate the facts from the fears.
It's so important to understand that dementia itself isn't a specific disease. It's more of an umbrella term for a set of symptoms, like impaired thinking and memory loss, that are severe enough to disrupt daily life. And these symptoms can be caused by all sorts of things, like brain tumors or even strokes.
The symptoms, they can be incredibly difficult. A common cause of dementia is Alzheimer's disease, which is a progressive and irreversible condition that deteriorates the brain's neurons. And it's more common than you might think. It affects about 3% of the world's population by age 75.
And this right here is the most important takeaway of all. I really want you to hear this.
While some minor memory changes are a normal part of getting older, conditions like dementia are not. Severe cognitive decline is not an inevitable part of aging.
So when you put it all together, the social stages, the cognitive shifts, one thing becomes incredibly clear. Growing up isn't something that just happens when we're young. It's a continuous, lifelong process.
This really is the ultimate takeaway. Our psychological development never truly stops. We're always learning, always adapting, and always navigating the next challenge on our personal map. As the quote says so simply, we just keep right on changing.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. As human lifespans get longer and longer, what new stages might we discover? What else are we going to learn about our incredible, ever-developing minds? That, in so many ways, is psychology's next great frontier.